Hello, what's up? Welcome to Unwrapped with me, your girl Helen. Hope you've had great time and enjoying our episodes. This is just our second episode in the season 2. And you're joining me from Le Dauphine Grand Paradiso Hotel in Roma. And today I'll be chatting with gospel artist Abel Chungu, who has been sharing his fair share of controversy, be it him performing where they feel he's not supposed to be performing at, be him collaborating with a secular artist, but he'll be able to clear all those stories and make us understand why he does what he do just now. Welcome back. So I mentioned earlier that I'll be chatting with R&B gospel artist Abel Chungu. Abel Chungu, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah? You know, when I see you like this, I never imagined that you stand up and do some stand-up comedy.
Really?
You seem so cool and shy.
That's because I'm observing a lot at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Just want to know a bit about you. People say you didn't grow up in Zambia. Where did you grow up from?
I did kind of grow up in Zambia, but as a child there was the UK, then the States, but then after that I grew up most of my life in Zambia. I only went back to the States for college. Yeah.
Are you related to former Born and Bred presenter Kazia?
Yeah, that's actually my elder sister.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many are you in your family?
We're quite a lot. Stepbrothers and sisters. But I'm the last born.
Really?
Right before Kazia, there's my older brother Damien. He's on some billboards for Kung Fu. He's a martial artist. And
that's your brother?
That's my brother, yeah.
Oh my God, can you do some martial arts?
I had started capoeira a while back, but yeah. Let's just say that's his passion.
Oh, really? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, how were you like in your family? You said you grew up, you have stepbrothers, stepsisters.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
I mean, you always kind of, my dad had this way of life where, people always think that the last born enjoys everything. Nah, not in my family. My dad had created a system of hierarchy.
Okay.
The one above you has more authority, and then the one above that one has more authority. So,
like if he brings two things, it tells the older one to pick first.
The older one,
I've been there.
So that was my life. You know what I'm saying? You were like, no, I want to do this. Why don't you just get from your other brother? He's outgrown that.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
Where did you go to school at school?
I went to Jacaranda, a school in New York called Our Lady of Fatima. Taonga Trust is where Gospel Outreach Christian Academy, Goka. I went to Taonga Trust School is where I graduated high school. I even did NIPA at one point. And then I was at Rhema Bible College in Oklahoma.
Yeah. What kind of a young person were you? Like growing up, what kind of a teenager were you? Experimental or very laid back?
The experimental part was hard because my parents were very strict. And I was feared just dying at the hands of my dad. But they were really nice. They were very strong believers. Very, very prayerful. Taught us about that. So one of the things is, there was a point in everyone's life that you begin to know things for yourself, and that was one of the things I think. Even I wasn't just learning from my parents; I was learning even from my brothers and sisters, because there was always an environment that they said, like, you have to know what you believe in and why you believe in it. It wasn't just like, let's go and do something. So one of the things is, I tell a lot of my friends, like, all my friends know that I don't drink.
Yeah. But
people always tell you, like, I saw Abel in a bar, and I'm very comfortable around people who drink.
Yeah.
Because all my friends when I was growing up drank, though I've always been told, people like, don't drink to get drunk, you know what I'm saying? But one of the things was, because my brother, when I was 14, just told me one time, says, if I ever catch you drinking, then I know you've decided to become a follower instead of a leader. And it really messed with my head, you know what I'm saying? You didn't need somebody to tell you, like, stop drinking. Because he was like, listen, all your friends have started drinking now because of peer pressure. So peer pressure means you personally don't have self-confidence in yourself, that you feel you have to please other people to do something. So even then, like up to now, like some people try, no, I have a drink something. I'm just like, nah, it's just
that
never,
helped, eh?
yeah. So it's never.
Nice.
So from 14, I was just like, nah, I'm cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, we take a break. On this break, I want you to pick any of your music videos.
Any of my music videos?
Yeah.
It'd have to be Forever.
Okay, let's check out Abel Chungu featuring Tasha with Forever.
I'm running towards forever, where we will be together, and all the fears I have about my life will fade away. I'm running towards forever, where everything is better. My sins won't be remembered, but a crown for me awaits. I'm running towards forever. Somebody asked me, does my God cry for every soul that never slips into the great light? I had to wonder cause I'm standing at these front lines, and all these people seem more focused on a good time. Story of the prodigal son with a bad twist, holding on to empty nothings with his clenched fist, cause he done squandered everything that he was blessed with, and now he's walking these streets with this last clip like, is it them on me? Is it them on me? Known fearfully the one that I would D.I.E. I fall asleep on this tears on this bed I sleep. I wonder how in the world did I fall this deep? So to God I speak, show mercy please. I done lost on my willpower, I'm just too weak. But if the Bible holds truth of every word you speak, then I know my last request certified my peace. I'm running, but every part of my body be telling me to give him. But I guess this is a life that I just so I gotta live it. While everybody rooting for me to keep it 100, but I can't. I'm trying to reach where my grace is, and hoping that the race tries to recognize the nameless. Freaks for that Jesus, that's how they introduce us. But if they really knew us, they'll say that we the heathens. Yeah, them born sinners, yeah, them born sinners. Only so far you can run away, my brother. Come and taste the love that's sweeter than the mothers. Wrap it in the arms, more deeper than the lovers. Oh, we the future, oh, we gon' reach ya. Born of the spirit, the flesh out to get ya. None can be better than those he made better, to speak truth of the lover that lives on forever.
Welcome back. So that's Abel Chungu featuring Tasha with Forever. You know what I like about this video? It's how playful you guys were. Like, it wasn't too serious, but you had fun. You say, I think you mentioned that you didn't just shoot it in Zambia.
Yeah, we actually shot it in Namibia. So I had a concert in Namibia, and so they're like, oh yeah, we'll fly you out and everything. So I said, you know what, let me do this. Just give me the money for the flight. And then so I hired Edwin from Fortress. I just got together with Edwin. In fact, he's an amazing guy. I said, let's go on a trip. And we got on a bus, and I just said, just shoot. Because I knew it was going to be my first official video, and one of the things I wanted for people to see was just a very normal life, like exactly the way I see it from my point of view. So he shot us at the restaurant, we finished at the schools, rehearsals and and that was just what the video was like. There was no makeup, there was no, you know what I'm saying, there was nothing superficial. I
love that. Are you married?
I'm married,
with
2 kids.
How many years?
7.
Wow, nice. How old were you when you married?
I was 25.
Really?
So I'm turning 33.
Nice. Okay. Most of the guys at 25 will still think, no, I still need to experiment life. How did you get yourself to marrying at 25?
So when I was in college, I had a lot of, even from the time I was young, I always knew that I was gonna get married early. But even when I was in college, my first people I started meeting, there was this couple who were running a young marrieds group. and they said the group was from between the ages of 18 to 25. So I'd ask them, I said, yeah, people were 18 were married. It's like, yeah, we've got a lot of 18, 19-year-olds are married. So I started meeting a lot of young couples. So before I was graduating, everyone was asking me, so when you go back, you're going to marry your girlfriend? You're going to marry your girlfriend? I was like, so I realized at the end of the day that there's nothing I was running from. If there was anything I had to learn, you're going to learn it. People get married at 30 and still, have to face the same challenges and growth in marriage, I'm glad I got married because I think I have, I have a lot of things I share with people, a lot of lessons I've learned that I can be able to tell people. Some people, no, you got married too early. I'm like, trust me, I've seen people get married at 40 and still mess it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, there's something that we'll see a lot of people talk about you and say they like ladies will say, oh my God, we like Abel, oh my God, even at concert. Has that ever brought problems in your home?
I think it's what can I say? It's not really like problems at the end of the day, but you just kind of realize that people will always have this celebrity idea.
Yeah.
In my context, I think the problem has been when I take myself as just myself.
Yeah.
Even when I'm talking to people, like I don't take it like Abel the celebrity. I just take myself as Abel, just a normal person.
Yeah.
Some friendships, I guess, or even just some people I've had to cut out because for them it was Abel the celebrity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're talking to people, whether it's work related and different things, but for them it's I'm talking to Abel. This is the Abel.
Yeah.
So I think over the years it's made me a bit more isolated and more like, oh, okay, I have to understand that, and I hate the fact that sometimes that has to be part of my life, where I have to be aware that you can't just be yourself with everyone, and the fact is you can be yourself, but at least you don't have to share of yourself as much with a lot of people. So you just okay, bye, goodbye. Yeah.
Is it true that you were once separated from your wife due to the same group?
No, it wasn't based on that. I think it was a lot of different things. I do share with a lot of people that I had gone through a moment of depression. I had lost my best friend. He'd committed suicide that same year, and sometimes I think when you're young and you get married, you have different views. You have different views, and I think a lot of it was based on our different backgrounds.
Okay.
And we managed to at least work that out. I do tell a lot of people, I said one of the things that was very hard was not being able to tell people, because everyone at the time was, but everything is good. You try to bring up a conversation with people and say, how's your marriage? Because you're hoping that somebody will be honest enough to tell you theirs, then you can tell them what's happening in yours. And everyone was like, no, I'm blessed.
Perfect.
And that's the thing with a lot of believers, is that we always want to tell everybody that we're blessed. We always want to tell everybody that everything is good. We always want to be the loudest shouting amen. And during this period of time of my life, I learned so much about just being real, and for some people they don't like it. Some people they're like, oh no, they want the superficial man of God. I'm just like, I'm a man of God. I didn't ask you for that. God is the one who put me there and said, hey, you know what, you want to go on this journey? And I said, yeah, let's go. Nice. And so
how do you manage to you're so real, like you've said, you mingle with secular artists, you've done a song with Shefe, and you get, and you are not just a gospel artist, you're a pastor as well. And people will talk a lot. They'll discuss you on radio, they'll discuss you in papers, they'll talk about how do you manage to just come back and just focus on what you want to do? Because don't you sometimes doesn't it get to you and say, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing?
I mean, there's times when you're sitting down and you're thinking like, did I miss it somewhere, or is there something I'm missing out on or whatnot? But I realized this. There's a lady called Dr. Brene Brown who said this, and I was at the Global Leadership Summit, and she said, when people gossip about you, it's out of fear. Gossip is a mechanism that the mind creates in order to feel safe when you do not understand something. when you do not have full details about something. So it's an element of fear because we fear what we don't understand. So we create parts and puzzles and whatnot. It also boosts our own low self-esteem. If I know that if Hellen is doing something good, I want to know that there's something bad about Hellen that will make me feel better about myself. It hasn't elevated my life, but my self-belief of myself is like, oh, so if that guy, where also, where you elevate yourself. What I've learned in my life is when I know something bad about someone, I realize it points me to God's grace. I realize that, man, God is awesome, that he can use everybody. Because I mostly share this with people, like, why would Jesus tell the thief on the cross next to him and saying, today you will be with me in paradise? Why would Jesus use Judas for ministry? All God really wants is willing hearts. All God really cares about is saying, like, listen, I want to do things with you. I've got a plan for your life. Will you trust me?
Yeah.
And if you live in that space where you see yourself through other people's eyes, there's nothing you will ever achieve for God. There's not a single thing you ever achieve if you use other people's eyes. In fact, even if other people's eyes magnify you, that's a very strong recipe for a downfall. Because then, if everyone glorifies you, all you're living in again is pride.
Why did you pick to do a song with Chef, not anyone else?
I think if you listen to the message in the song, he's saying fellowship with God. He was the best person. First of all, Chef is a very powerful lyricist. Second of all, I think the song is saying it was talking about a person who wants to have fellowship with God. But I felt my verse was going to talk from a person who probably had a longer period of time. But I needed an artist who was going to share what it's like trying to have a relationship with God, but everyone else doesn't believe that you can. Or what I find is the hindrance for many people having a relationship because they feel that I'm not perfect. So I meet so many people like, oh, you should, first tukachinjeko, then we'll come to church. Like I have to change myself. So
because of the judgment that goes on at church.
Exactly. So you don't feel like you can even come before God because everyone has an opinion about your belief. And that song proved it to such a degree. The backlash that you get from Chef in his own words saying, I want to have a relationship with God, And then you have people saying, why did you feature Chef on that? So that exactly shows you, like, I didn't even have to say anything. That's why I don't even comment to anybody's post. And I'm just like, that right there is your answer. Why I had Chef is because this nature that we've shown people that there's specific people who can have a relationship with God, which is not what Christ intended.
Okay. Nice. On that note, I think we take a break. Okay, so I'm still chatting with Abel Chungu, so you need to stay tuned. For now, let's take a break. Welcome back. So I'm still chatting with Abel Chungu. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
I am.
Okay. Just tell us what you're currently working on. I know you're releasing a new album.
Yeah, so I'm working on my new album. It's called Love Revolution. It's set to be out on the 21st of April.
Nice. Are you launching it?
Yes. We're launching it on that date, New Government Complex. Yeah, but Beautiful. You can follow my online pages for all the information.
Beautiful. This is your number one album?
This is my fourth album, my fourth project, but my fourth official album because the last one was a deluxe.
It was Revolution something as well, right?
Yes. So what the first one was Worship of the Love Revolutionary. The second one was Love Unleashed. Then I did Love Unleashed the Deluxe, where we did a double launch with Mag 44 for our deluxe albums. Then this is Love Revolution.
Nice, beautiful. Okay, we're looking forward to that album. So like you've heard, you need to follow his social media so you can be up to date, so you don't miss out on the launch, right? Yeah, okay, now I want to play a game with you. Okay. And this game, say yes or no game. All you have to do is answer yes or no explanations.
Okay.
First question, have you ever smoked weed?
No.
Yeah. Who is your favorite Zambian artist apart from yourself? Okay, we move on. There's something that I wanted to ask. You've performed at a nightclub before. I watched you perform at Z626 where you guys went on stage. So amazing. This is not a yes or no game. We're away from that. And I could see like somebody's carrying a castle and you're worshiping and they're like, oh, amen, amen. Like, I think that happens a lot, right? Yeah. Have you ever had somebody testify after you perform at a nightclub or a secular event and then they come to say, you guys, what you did touched me and I need help? Yeah. You've had that?
All the time.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, we take another break. This time, I want you to pick a music video for another Zambian artist.
Oh yeah, Makitu featuring Ephraim.
Alrighty, so let's check out Makitu featuring Ephraim with Umutima Wandi.
I brought Ephraim with me. Jamba. Mke Makitu. I won't stop till they understand.
Niwe unchengere da Yehova, Yehova, niwe umpela Yehova, Yehova, niwe untangere da Yehova, Yehova, niwe unsumbula Yehova, Yehova, umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe
Narirande panga mamilioni. May I remember you mwelesa. Notifintunga vya shupelo na isa kuliwe wati mona pawelesa. Narirande konto kane kunga. Notifenga na ponso kamwitumba. Nariria valentesha tiwoli chikali. I hope they see your glory. Cause this is God engineering, a televised revolution. The Holy Ghost in the building, about to touch, always shooting like hello. Mwali mwishe wa Yesu. We're going all out, let on no curfew. Bantu.
Yehova, Yehova, niwe umpela Yehova, Yehova, niwe wampela vyo Yehova, Yehova, niwe unsumbula Yehova, Yehova, umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe
Look, Bambire kick to the pocket. Inende ande kwa tila kofe market. Taifi, tai short up a budget. Pa paper, pa TV, pa gadget. Nifwe tutambika po. Pa munu na lefwa yele sambika po. Lelo nafika po. Wale tila nkafua fiende chula. Pachilesa emi abali abasulwa. Wadishari fyo wachunta. Nisa ambula ansamfia. Wadishari fe chipunka. Nisa ambula angwa miandetila.
Yehova, Yehova, niwe umpela Yehova, Yehova, niwe wampela vyo Yehova, Yehova, niwe unsumbula Yehova, Yehova, umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe umutima wandi ndekupela umutima wandi niwe
Sing for me.
Umi wandi na makaya ndine Jehova Fyose na kwata yawe nende mipela Amapalo na kwata yawe nimwe mwapela
Nimwe.
Ifyuma na kwata yawe tifuma kuli imwe
Welcome back. So that's Makitu featuring Ephraim with Umutima Wandi. That's another controversial collaboration.
I mean, but it depends the direction that you look at it.
Yeah.
You know?
Alrighty. So
Every
there's
mouth give praise.
yeah. In when we social media of late, some artists, we know what's going on with Njoyati's wife being arrested for child abuse.
Yeah.
Some artists are actually campaigning for him to step down. What would be your take?
I think it's very immature. Like I said, you know, if that issue had nothing to do, has nothing to do with him. You know what I'm saying? I think, if you want him to step down, you know what I'm saying, compete for it at ZAM, you know what I'm saying, or at the ZAM level. But I think right now it just kind of shows you the kind of people that you have around you. When it happened, the first thing I did was call him. He was very broken, like I would expect. He had a very good relationship. His wife was a wonderful person when I met her. There's issues. There's like I said, there's information around the case that what you're seeing on social media, hearing the different age, fake pictures floating around and I think even a lot of people are creating it's not on substantial proper evidence. You know what I'm saying? They didn't sit a day in court. They don't know what exactly transpired. And for me, I'd say, I don't want to talk on what the court's verdict is. I don't want to talk about his wife. But for me personally, as a friend to Njoya, and as a person who's a member of ZAM and has served under him, I think it's good to give the person time to think. If he chooses to step down, then let him choose to step down. You know what I'm saying? I think now people are posting no Njoya to step down on social media. Like he's not gonna read that. You know what I'm saying? He's got his kids to think about. What's the direction of the family? Because that's just everything has just changed in an instant. 5 years is a long time. I've had that happen to me before. Where a family member gets locked up. It was my own mother, and people said all sorts of things. It was in the paper and but thank God she was vindicated, and it's shown that there was a lot of fake stuff that was attempted to be planted, a whole fake case. Just that the judge was even annoyed when it happened, but it was a different turnaround. She's been convicted and said she's going to serve a 5-year sentence. So I can only imagine the pain that's going through and what is going through in life, and I just pray that he has the grace and the strength to carry through with his family. At the end of the day, you feel alone. You can end up feeling alone, and I even sent him a message. I said, I just want you to know that I'm there for you at that point. So I think it's very immature, and I don't care who's been pushing for his exit now. You know what I'm saying? It is not the time.
Okay. Thanks for coming on the show, and thanks for those words. I hope you enjoyed yourself the whole time.
I did. It was actually a pretty good interview.
Nice. Just now I want you to talk to your fans, your followers in that camera, and just tell them whatever you can tell them.
Oh, I always like this. Where do you start? I always tell people, God loves you, despite what people think about you. He never asked for anyone's opinion to die for you. In his own capacity, in all of who he is, he created the heavens and the earth and the sky and everything in it, and he put you at the center of his heart, and said, there's nothing more I'd want than to have you as my child. So whether you're sitting there with a beer in your hand, or you just smoked a blunt, or you're going through relationship issues and you're thinking, why me? Or you don't pay tithe, you're the person I write my songs for, because you know what it's like to be an outcast. And then at the end of the day, when I tell you that God wants you in his family, that is the realest. That's what the gospel is founded on. So if you're listening and you've been watching this, I hope you've been blessed and ministered to, that a person just like you has found favor and grace in God's heart and his eyes. And I want you to know that the same favor and grace is open for everybody.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Alrighty. Okay, so we've been chatting with Abel Chungu. Hope you have learned one or two things from him. Like we always say, whenever we bring our guests, don't just watch, but they also tell us things that we can learn from and help change our lives. So remember to catch our episodes on our YouTube channel, Hellen Zulu. This episode is right going on our YouTube channel. You can watch it as many times as you feel like, and also like our Facebook page, Unwrapped with Hellen. Follow everything that talks about Unwrapped. With me, your girl Hellen, and the entire crew. It's bye-bye.